They have the biggest dreams you've ever heard. Detailed, vivid, passionate, beautiful. And they are lying on the couch, completely still, having had that same dream for 3 years without a single action taken. They plan constantly, notebook after notebook filled with ideas, strategies, timelines, and vision. Version 47 of the plan is even better than version 46, and not one version has ever been executed. They set everything up perfectly. The desk, the laptop, the notebook, the right playlist, the right time. And then they stand there, completely ready and completely frozen. And they don't know why. 20 minutes later, they're on the couch with their phone. The setup is still perfect. The dream is still there. The readiness has evaporated. And the question they ask themselves again is, what is wrong with me? 5 months later, same dream, same couch, same notebook with the same plans. The calendar is full of crossed out months. Each one was supposed to be the month everything changed. It wasn't. There is a gap between dreaming and doing. Most people know it exists, but for some people, that gap is not just wide, it is inhabited. They live in the gap, permanently, comfortably, painfully. Tell them about their dream, and they come alive. The passion is real. The vision is detailed. The excitement is infectious. Talking about the dream, describing it, planning it, sharing it, feels almost as satisfying as actually doing it. Almost.
But then the conversation ends and the silence comes back. And the dream is exactly where it was before the conversation. And the gap is exactly as wide, and nothing has moved. They try to start. They genuinely try. They sit down, open the document, type 3 sentences, delete them, type again, delete again, close the laptop, and tell themselves they'll try again tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, the same thing happens. They are standing at the starting line, foot raised, ready, and they cannot put the foot down. Not because they don't want to, because something invisible, something they don't fully understand, is holding them exactly where they are. So they add to the list instead. I'll start after I research more. I'll begin once I finish this course. I just need to be more prepared. The list grows longer. The preparation never ends. The start never happens. The vision board is beautiful. They spent a whole Saturday building it, cutting, arranging, designing. They know exactly what they want. They can see it perfectly. They just cannot seem to move toward it. So what is actually happening here? Because this is not laziness. Lazy people don't dream this vividly. This is not lack of intelligence. This is not lack of desire. This is psychology. And psychology has answers. Reason 1. Your brain rewards the fantasy more than the reality. Neuroscience shows that vividly imagining a goal triggers dopamine release almost as powerfully as actually achieving it. Your brain gets the reward without doing any of the work. The dreaming bar is tall and instant. The doing bar is small at first and only grows through sustained effort over time. Your brain, given the choice, will always choose the tall, instant bar. This is not weakness. This is neurobiology. Reason 2. Fear of failure grows proportionally to the size of the dream. The bigger the dream, the more terrifying the attempt. Because a small attempt fails quietly. A big dream attempted and failed, that feels like losing everything. Look into the gap between dreaming and doing.
And you'll find the fears that actually live there. What if I try and I'm not good enough? What if I fail publicly? What if the dream, the one thing I've held on to, turns out to be impossible for someone like me? Reason 3. Perfectionism is paralysis wearing a productivity mask. The perfectionist doesn't start because they can already see every way it could be imperfect, and imperfect feels worse than not starting. So they don't start, and they call it standards. Reason 4. Identity fear. For many big dreamers, the dream is not just a goal. It is their identity. It is how they see themselves and how others see them. If they try and fail, they don't just lose the attempt. They lose the person they believed they were. Reason 5. Overwhelm creates complete shutdown. They look at the dream and see every step required simultaneously. The book needs writing and publishing and marketing and designing and promoting. The brain sees all of it at once and shuts the whole system down. Reason 6. They are waiting for the perfect moment. When the kids are older, when the money is better, when they feel more ready, when life settles down. The perfect moment is always arriving, and it never quite gets here. Reason 7, and perhaps the most psychologically sophisticated. The dream protects them. As long as the dream is only a dream, it is perfect. It is immune to criticism, failure, and judgment. The moment they start, the dream becomes vulnerable. And vulnerability is terrifying. And here is what this costs. Not just the dream, though yes, the dream slowly fades with every passing year, but the confidence, the self-trust. Every time you don't start when you said you would, you teach yourself that your word means nothing, even to yourself. Look at the version of yourself 10 years from now, still carrying the same dream, now a little smaller, a little more faded, still telling people about it at dinner parties, still planning version 93 in your notebook. The grief of that future is available to you right now, if you're willing to feel it. The cost of the dream you never started is not just the life you didn't build. It is the version of yourself you never got to meet. The person who tried, the person who struggled through it, the person who imperfectly and incompletely began. So here is where everything changes. Not with a dramatic motivational speech, not with a vision board revision. With one honest question, asked quietly, without judgment, to yourself. What is the smallest possible first step? Not the whole dream, not even the first chapter, the smallest thing. The one action so tiny, your brain cannot justify refusing it. Find that action. Name it specifically. That is your entire assignment. Open the document and write one sentence. Send one email. Make one phone call. Sketch one idea. One sentence, one email, one call, one sketch. These are not small things dressed up as big things. They are the actual beginning of every significant thing ever built. Take the fear out of the chasm and put it on the table. Name it specifically. I am afraid that if I try, I will discover I am not as capable as I believe I am. Named, specific, real. And now something that can be worked with instead of something that rules you from the dark. Done beats perfect every single time. Every book that changed your life was written imperfectly. Every business that inspired you was started messily. Every person you admire produced terrible early work. The difference between them and the person still planning, they showed their terrible early work to the world anyway. Shift your identity from someone with a big dream to someone who takes small actions daily. These two identities produce completely different lives. The first one plans, the second one builds. Choose which one you are and let that choice show up in tomorrow morning's first hour. Simplify the overwhelming plan into 3 words: start, continue, adjust. You don't need to know step 47 right now. You need to know step 1. Step 1 is always the same. Begin with what you have, where you are, with what you know right now. The perfect moment is a myth that has stolen more dreams than failure ever has. The moment you are in right now, imperfect, incomplete, uncertain, is the only moment available to you. Circle today, not someday, today. And then put the foot down. Cross the line. Take the step you have been holding in midair. Not because you're ready, not because it's perfect, but because the step was always possible. And you just proved it. Keep walking, not sprinting, not leaping dramatically, just walking. Steadily, consistently, one foot after the other. The dream above you doesn't need you to be extraordinary. It needs you to be consistent. Consistency is ordinary people doing something extraordinary, showing up. The difference between the person who dreamed and the person who built is not talent, not timing, not resources. It is this: one of them started. That is the only difference. That is the whole difference. You don't have to be great to start, but you absolutely have to start to be great. Every great thing ever built by a human being began with someone in exactly your position, with a dream, with fear, with doubt, who started anyway. The staircase to your dream was always there. You just needed to stop looking up at the dream and start looking at the first step. It's right in front of you. It has always been right in front of you. Step on it. What dream have you been putting off? Tell us in the comments below, specifically with a real answer. What is it? And then tell us, what is the smallest possible first step? Write it down right now in the comments. That is your first act of beginning. The dream doesn't need you to be ready. It doesn't need the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect version of you. It needs you to begin. Imperfect, uncertain, slightly afraid, and moving. Always moving. Start today.